Home and away spoilers. Dean and Levi race to save Mac and Ziggy. Next week on Home and Away in the UK, the race is on for Levi and Dean to track down Mackenzie and Ziggy, as it becomes clear their lives are on the line. Levi recently surprised Mac with a trip up to Queensland, where he wanted to meet Mac's brother Dean and partner Ziggy for the first time. But Levi hadn't anticipated the frosty reception he'd receive from Dean, who disapproved of the fact that Levi had started his relationship with Mac whilst still married to his now ex-wife Imogen. Despite the best efforts of Mac and Ziggy, and even his mum Karen, who was also visiting, Dean refused to back down and accept Mac and Levi's relationship. Ziggy eventually managed to convince a reluctant Dean that they should take Mac and Levi on a road trip to see the sights. But this ended prematurely after another of Dean's outbursts. As Mac and Levi readied themselves to leave, Dean made one final attempt to talk to Levi. But as the pair headed off to talk things through, Mac and Ziggy were approached by two escaped prisoners, Roscoe and Todd, who forced them at knife point into Dean's car. With Ziggy ordered to drive, Levi and Dean returned to the car park just in time to see the car speeding off, Mac yelling for their help from the window. As we return to the scene on Monday, Levi and Dean are frantic as they try and work out their next move. Levi desperately tries to find a signal to call 000. But Dean decides there's no time to waste and goes with a more direct approach, smashing the window of a nearby car and hot wiring it in order to give chase. Meanwhile, an armed Roscoe has a tight grip on Mac in the rear of the car as a terrified Ziggy continues to drive. Ziggy tells Roscoe and Todd that they can have anything they want, but Roscoe insists she keep driving and shut up. Levi reluctantly joins Dean in the stolen car as they race off, with Dean deducing that the two men had escaped from prison and would be heading out of town. Levi turns on the radio to hear if there's been any news reports. And sure enough, he quickly tunes into a bulletin confirming Roscoe and Todd's escape. The stakes suddenly get higher as they learn Roscoe is considered highly dangerous, having been incarcerated for the past 15 years. The plan is for Roscoe and Todd to make it to the Queensland border. But it's not long before they spot a police roadblock up ahead. Luckily for the escapees, a gravel turn-off appears just in time. Roscoe barks the order, and Ziggy veers off-road. Moments later, Ziggy slams on the brakes, declaring that she's pregnant and is about to be sick. With no choice, Roscoe allows her to get out. Mac follows, offering support, but Ziggy seizes the chance to whisper that Dean is probably right behind them and they need to buy time. Mac asks if the pregnancy was just a performance, but Ziggy shakes her head, she's 3 months along. Meanwhile, Roscoe discusses the next steps with Todd. Once they meet Roscoe's contact near the border, they'll ditch the car, but when Todd asks about Ziggy and Mac, he's chilled by Roscoe's response he has no intention of leaving witnesses. When Dean and Levi finally spot the police roadblock, Levi breathes a sigh of relief. That is, until Dean reminds him they're also two shady guys in a stolen car, something the police may not take too kindly to. Without hesitation, Dean throws the car into reverse and takes the same gravel road the others did. Levi's frustration grows, they may have just blown their only shot at getting help. As tensions rise in the fugitive's car, Roscoe suddenly orders Ziggy to pull over, but Todd hesitates, he wants to keep going. Sensing Todd's discomfort, Ziggy appeals to his conscience, warning that if anything happens to her or Mac, he'll share the blame. "I can't be a part of this," Todd announces. "I'm not a murderer." With that, Todd suddenly opens the door and jumps from the speeding car. Ziggy slams on the brakes in horror, but Roscoe orders her to continue driving. A short time later, Dean is beginning to doubt himself, believing they've come the wrong way. Admitting that Levi was right, he goes to turn around and head back to the police roadblock. But just as they're doing so, they spot an injured Todd stumbling along the road ahead. They're on the right track after all. Dean immediately throws Todd to the floor as he demands to know where the girls are, with Levi quickly intervening, pointing out that Todd is more useful to them if he's still conscious. Levi tells Todd that he's a doctor and that he can help him. But only if he tells them what he knows first. Todd eventually admits that they were heading to the Queensland Northern Territory border. Dean quickly realizes that Roscoe is planning on disposing of Ziggy and Mac before that happens. And so with Todd stowed away in the boot of the car, they race off again. Eventually the pair spot Dean's car, abandoned in a field. As they approach, they find the doors ajar with all their belongings strewn across the dirt. Are they too late to save Mac and Ziggy? Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.